Here on Lafayette Avenue, residents are up in arms over the city's recent decision to close a public park. Apparently, skateboarders are to blame.
Try to flame me and then you'll see. You wanna play a game, then go buy Monopoly. Shadows creating a world of total darkness. Lyrics and beat intact, your mind's a harness. The grip you got is loose release. Let off, step off, it's time to seize it. A character portrayed displayed in your mind. Dig deep into the psyche and then you'll find what I'm saying. Conceals a hidden meaning, a cure for the mind and soul and its healing. A burning desire for inner satisfaction. The groove is smooth, fulfilling and relaxing. Just snooze your choice you choose. If you last for passing, time's up to lose. Open your eyes and rise to the occasion. Simple, ain't it? It's what I'm saying.
Last time I travelled abroad, I found myself in the beautiful Bucharest. And I'm a student, so believe me when I tell you, I travelled cheap. And yet, I low-key exceeded my budget. By a lot. And that came down to one thing: electric scooters. These are both the devil's work and the best thing since sliced bread. Exploring the city and getting around on one of these bad boys is just incredible. However, if one were to extrapolate the cost of these bad boys on a scale from wholesale onions to the economy of Greece, the price would come out to be roughly a metric fuck ton. I shared my findings with my brother, and we began discussing just how might I get around abroad quickly and cheaply. And that's when it hit me. What if I just built... If you watched my last video, you'll know that I built a bike for quick travel, but I obviously can't take that bike on a plane, so skateboard it is. And now, just like the bike video, we're gonna do a rundown of the types of skateboards, because there is a few, and I think we'll start with a penny board. These little tykes are plastic, lightweight, and more than anything, portable. They are tiny. My brother had one of these when we were kids, and he rode it all the time. Honestly, it stopped me getting into skating for so long because I just hated it so much. I mean, whilst it would be easy to take abroad, it's just too small. The longboard. Now, it's in the name, so like obviously it's too long to take on a plane, but it's a real shame because I have a special appreciation for these. My second favorite movie of all time is The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, and one of my favorite scenes is the one where he longboards across Iceland or Greenland, a land. Let me tell you, when this YouTube shit works out, you will see me doing this for a video. Probably. And finally, we have the classic skateboard. It's bigger than a penny board, but smaller than a longboard. Ideal for both riding around, tricks, and of course international travel. Now obviously there are many more types and all kinds of variations, but at least for me, your bog standard skateboard works just fine. However, I'm not just gonna buy a skateboard off the shelf. I mean, in my personal experience, they're shit. I mean, even when I was planning this, I tried out my neighbor's skateboard to see how it would be, and it was just awful. I mean, the board was too thick and it didn't bend at all. The trucks were way too loose and the wheels, oh, just starting to go. Since I'm not buying it, I'll obviously be building it. Now there are several pieces I need to collect in order to create my next masterpiece. Luckily, not as many as the bike. First up, we have the deck. This is what all the other parts will be joined to. When it comes to choosing a deck, the only real thing you have to choose is the brand and the size. You know, my research showed that bigger boards are better for cruising, since they are easier to stand on, which is great, but as it happens, the bigger the board, the harder it's going to be to sneak through customs, since it'll be inside my clothes. Now, as far as brand goes, I don't really give to, so I just went with the cheapest 8-inch deck I could find, because struck a balance for my needs. The deck I bought actually came with grip tape too, so you know, shout out Black Sheep, great customer service. Even came with a sticker. Anyway, next up is trucks. When it comes to buying, this is pretty easy. You just have to match the size to your deck. The real challenge comes later when I have to adjust it to the right tightness, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Now the hardest part of this was actually choosing the wheels. Since I'm going to be cruising, and on many different kinds of surfaces, I want some wheels that are extremely versatile. Now originally I was going to go with shark wheels, They seemed to fit my needs, but I was about to buy them and I just got fucking bombarded with people telling me they are shocking, like, absolutely terrible. So yeah, I ended up going in a different direction, that being the Richter Chrome Clouds. These are a softer wheel, which makes them ideal for cruising on various surfaces. But if I ever want to try some tricks, they're hard enough that I probably could. Oh, and I grabbed some red bearings for them. Now here's where the fun begins. When I was building my bike, I just painted that motherfucker black. But on a skateboard, I have room to do a cool fucking design. Alrighty, as a small broke YouTuber, I have extensive experience in locating and navigating non-copyright material. A while back, that led me down a rabbit hole of cool medieval looking stuff on Wikipedia Commons, but like, I didn't have anywhere to use it until now. I slowly gathered what I needed and created this mock-up in Photoshop, and I have to say, I think it looks pretty sexy. The issue for me is how the hell I'm gonna get it onto a board. I mean, I may be artistic, but I am by no means an artist. So, you know, painting the design was out of the question. And I definitely don't have the tech to make a full graphic like the professional tech companies do. My solution is to print each individual image on paper, then layer them all together and absolutely cake it in glue. Finishing it off with a lacquer spray to seal the design and prevent damage. Now the first step, as always, is sanding. Fuck sanding. Now I'm just adding each piece of the design one by one. I'm using a combination of wood glue and Mod Podge so that it's strong and sealed. Now, once I added the centerpiece, on photo paper by the way, we splurge. No, we go all out on this channel, baby. Now I just have this mess of paper. So I cut around the edges, you know, make it flush, and then once again, sanding. This next part gave me some trouble. When I was designing in Photoshop, the centerpiece looked way better when I added some stroke around the edges. That's pretty easy in Photoshop, but you know, trying to do it IRL is actually pretty tough. I thought about airbrushing, but that's fucking expensive. And now I did buy some paint. Plan to do some Warhammer shading techniques, but I ended up just using charcoal to create the effect, and it came out okay. You know, not perfect, but nothing is. With the design done, I just had to get it all nice and sealed. And you would think that's a pretty easy process. You know, just put a few coats of lacquer spray every few hours and Bob's your uncle. Well, no. I used a whole can of this stuff and still some of the paper was peeling. I switched gears and decided to use epoxy resin. This makes the board heavier but preserves the design much better. Anyway, I have never done this before and you can really tell I fucked this up so much. My main issue was forgetting to plug the holes, which just resulted in a lot of resin draining off the board. After a day, this was the finished deck. It has this like sourdough arcane texture, which looks a little suspicious, but hey, it protects the board. What more can I ask for? Well, I did have to scrape off some overlap, and that's just part of the process. Now I can finally start assembling the board. Put the grip tape on the deck, I put the bearings in the wheels, I put the wheels on the trucks, and then the trucks on the deck. And to finish off this lovely little project, I adjusted the trucks to be a little tighter. Now, when testing, I realized I fucking suck at this, but you know, I won't always, so look out for my next travel video and hopefully I'll be riding it. Peace.